I would say that when I was young and I would hear about research, I used to think that it was the truth and the fact and the finding. And if you just had the research result, then that would be what was true. And I mean, I thought that for a long time, really. I mean, this is almost embarrassing, but naively, until I actually started doing research with this principal investigator with whom I first worked. And I recall the messiness of it really surprising me. And not the messiness that the science was messy, but just that the process of science was iterative and interesting, and the feedback loop was really cool, and that we learn a little bit at a time, and we actually are swimming our way a bit at a time toward a truth and the truth, we hope, but a study is not the truth. And, you know, I still go in the world, and when I'm interacting with non-scientists, I hear people say, well, you know, they found that if you eat 7 carrots at every meal, you will have perfect eyesight when you're 80. And I mean, I think, you know, I can't believe someone just said that and believes that, but that was me, and, you know, not that, I mean, before I ever was introduced to research, I could have imagined myself saying something like that. So I think it used to be so simple and so clear and so easy. And then when you start doing science, it actually gets pretty fun because it's not that. I mean, I love the pursuit of knowledge. I love the ability to get closer and closer and closer through this iterative process of science, and all the things that make science and all the things that make research really interesting, including not just thinking about how to do cool studies, but communicating science in a way that people understand it. And people meaning, yes, the general public, but also fellow scientists, so they can use it to take the science to the next step. Ensuring that we do valid science, so we don't send our colleagues down some road that's not very productive. And people who use our science don't then end up producing a bunch of stuff that takes science in a different way that's not useful. And also, really of late, for the last 10 years of my career, you know, the importance of really doing ethical science. And by ethical science, I don't mean just, I mean this, but not just, it's necessary but not sufficient. You know, the research ethics, ensuring protection of human participants and ensuring people are treated with respect, and that's clearly really important, but that's not enough. There are so many other parts of ethical science that matter, including things like ensuring that people who do science have a really solid sense of professional ethics, that they perform their science and their research ethically, but then that they think about the implications of what they're doing, that their sense of moral imagination about the societal impacts of what they started in the first place is there and stimulated and matters. So, you know, all of that is much more complex and much richer than I ever imagined when I first started thinking about what research was. I thought it was just a way to get to the answer, but it's fascinating and much more interesting than that.